Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Snap on This. I'm LaurenWhatevs, and with me today I have my two regular amazing co-hosts. First up, Ree. How was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
It was all right. I think discussion for the week is going to be about the last 24 hours in which I have decided for the first time, kind of, to make a holodeck.
Oh, you're going to the dark side.
Yeah, after changes that, because, we've talked about how I like Discord, and I've been more in the apocalypse side of things, but we're going to get into the patch changes, but they did change Swordmaster, and he discards odd numbers now, and it's another change I don't like these changes that make cards better for the meta. It made him worse in my deck, because sometimes I need him to discard an even cost card or Apocalypse again. So I'm like, this may actually kill my deck. But in their notes, they challenged. They said maybe this will enable a new kind of Hela. And I was like, well, I haven't seen Hela that much for a while. So challenge accepted. And I do like, the last time I actually did play Hela, it wasn't my deck, but I got a deck that was about discarding. It was Hela with Samurai and Black Bolt, Eurydice, and Stature, having them discard low cards. And on your end, you were discarding like Leader and
Iron Man.
Huh? Iron Man, yes, perhaps. Exactly. Those cards, and that's what you were bringing back with Hela. This was before her big change, and it was a lot of fun. It was like a little mini Hela, small Hela deck, and that was neat. And then Hela got meta, and that killed all the joy out of it.
As it often does for everyone.
Yeah, and then they had
everyone. Oh, because it's Hela. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. I mean, she got to Galactus levels, didn't she? Right? Like, I mean,
I think worse than Galactus levels, if you ask me.
A lot harder to counter.
It's all a matter of opinion, taste.
Well, right, but they got to the point where they gave her a dial, like they did with Galactus. They're like, okay, we know people hate when this is on top of the meta so much that we will make sure we have a dial that we can just crank down real fast to weaken the card. I mean, but they said it in other words that sounded better. For them anyway. So they had to do that to Hela anyway. So, but this case, now I'm interested. So with Swordmaster, who can now not discard Hela, right? I put it with some, so interestingly now, instead of all the big cost cards, I'm like, okay, what if we put it with Arrow though? Right? That's a card Swordmaster will discard. That's a nice 10 stat line. Maybe it does something for you at the end of the game. You don't know, Still some Luke Cage. Hellcow, right? Hellcow is another change that's helping this. With the 2 activates you can throw at the last turn after you can activate it and then have your Hela played. So that's it. It's got Black Cat, So it's
the vulture of discard.
Yes, exactly. And then I put Spider Woman in it as another 5 coster. You know what I mean? That could be a 5/12 at the end of the game. So it's not all there yet. Checking it out. Put in Black Knight, of course. Good with those things. So that's what I've been messing around with. It's been fun. I've already been winning more than I thought I would. So
that's awesome.
And Luke Cage is just good tech, generally, kind of right now. So that's been my week.
All right, awesome. And our other co-host, Benjamin Roller, is here. How was your week in Snap?
Well, endeavoring to keep it snappy, I'll say it's been a pretty good week in Snap. I've been trying some experimental things. I believe last week I had just built a deck inspired by something Lauren said, where I was trying to, do the symbiote Spider-Man with Brood thing. I was using Madam Web and Iron Fist. I tried it with Araña on her release, it was a little bit disappointing. The one thing I have liked about that deck and that vein of things is actually Symbiote Spider-Man in Surfer in general. So right now I'm playing a deck that I had a lot of success with last season, except I've cut Nocturne for Symbiote Spider-Man, and it's just, I really, really love playing Symbiote Spider-Man on 4 and then Gwenpool on 5, because you just spit like a Hulk's worth of stats into your hand, and you can play them in a completely like unpredictable way, because you've shown your opponent like nothing on the board, that you're so uncommitted. It's and it's a bigger, like, more snappable surprise than if you play Gwenpool into Absorbing Man, which is also great. Also love to do that. I've been loving that for a minute. But yeah, the Symbiote Spider-Man version is pretty cool too. Also, you can sometimes set up a Brood thing. Like if you get Asteroid M, I'm always looking for Asteroid M with that deck. So I can play Brood somewhere else. The original Brood gets sucked over to Asteroid M, play Symbiote Spider-Man there, and then do the eight broodlings, the 8 strength broodlings. 8 power, that's the word we use in Marvel Snap. They have power, not strength.
Oh my god, Ben, I'm so mad. How did you not tell us this before? Gwenpool? Okay, I love Gwenpool with... So, and I didn't complain before that I wanted to play... Oh, this was with the upcoming with Scarlet Spider. But, like, that's so good. I was just telling someone how much... I'm like, Symbiote Spider-Man is terrible. I'll Red Guard him all day. You know what I mean? Like, he's no good. And, like, no, he's good. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's just not my play style. But you're like, but a double Gwenpool in one turn? That's the best use I've ever heard of for Symbiote Spider-Man. Oh, that's so good. Did you just think of that this week? I
encourage you to give it a try. No, I actually started doing it last week with that deck that I built, like, right before we recorded. That was where I first... But yeah, I really think the Gwenpool and Symbiote Spider-Man are a dynamic duo. And Symbiote Spider-Man can do a lot of cool things in Surfer. There are just a ton of cards he does not mind bonding with. Okay. And, I mean, sometimes it's just Forge. Sometimes doing double Forge on a Brood is like, whoa! You know?
All right. All right, make this your Twitter share deck of the week.
Okay, also, if either of you ever want one of your decks in the Big Ugly Square... I'd be happy to put it in a Big Ugly Square.
No,
I just love making Big Ugly Squares.
I need this double Gwenpool in my life. I gave her a pink cosmic border. That's how much I love Gwenpool.
I keep her at a rare border, as I do for all my things, but she has a pink cosmic border in my heart. And isn't that what matters?
We have pink cosmic border at home. That's what I think of your.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
How was your week, Lauren?
Yes. My week was great. I finally made it to Infinite, which is always a sigh of relief.
Yay! No, I didn't see. I'm sorry.
Not that that's everybody's goal or important to everybody, but it is to me, and I know it's something that I can achieve as long as I put in the time. I dipped from 93 to 88, so like it's a longer climb. When you dip down, you don't get the bonus 3 ranks again. But I made 88 to 100 entirely using Lockdown, which was just like, I know it's not everybody's jam, but it's mine. It's my home. It's my comfy deck. And it's been dead for a while. But brand new War Machine made it made it viable. And I saw so many people doing things with Storm Legion, like we talked about.
I did too!
There was a lot of it for a few days. Now it's going to be hella. I didn't see hardly anybody using Professor X, and I did. And I think a lot of people thought he was dead, but like between War Machine and Madam Web, who can move things into Professor X, I was having a ton of fun with that. I stopped many plays with Professor X, stopping a big old Venom from getting hit by Arnim Zola, for example. And it felt good. It's probably been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I would guess, without looking at my Twitter history, since I could take Lockdown to Infinite. So that was
Are
great.
you playing Daredevil in your? I'm curious. In your lockdown,
I was, but I'm currently doing Madam Web because it's like, if I mess up the Professor X, I can fix it.
No, I mean, I also always cut Daredevil, and I want to play him more, so I'm interested in... How do you feel about Daredevil, Ben? Sorry, I'm like sidetrack. I'm really curious.
I haven't played Daredevil since my Galactus phase. And if you're saying, Ben, you had a Galactus phase?
Yes!
Yeah,
It
was a while ago. It was a while. Like, I think maybe the first time I got to Infinite, I was playing Galactus. I don't even think I was Series 3 complete. I might be like... It was a long time ago. We're talking a while, but yeah, I think that's how I first got Infinite, was with the Galactus deck. And I what was I missing? Maybe I was missing Electro or something. I was missing like something pretty
like a key piece.
Time. Yeah, but I got Daredevil eventually, like partway through that season, I think. And I haven't really messed with him since. And like, I'm a fan of the character. I know.
I
like Daredevil.
He's got
I
great
wish
variants.
I had more reasons to play.
He's got the ghost problem where it's like, you're like, I'll handle Prio on my own. I don't fucking need ghosts. It's the same thing with the Daredevil. It's like, I'll just read what they're going to do on turn 5.
Yep.
Like,
it's always like, well, I could do without this, right?
Yes,
and
it's
like,
not
maybe
that you don't want to have it. It's that you cut it for a different card because you're like, I'll do Daredevil myself, and therefore I can fit in a different 2-drop that does something else, right? Is that not kind of what's going on in your head, though?
No, that's like, exactly it. It doesn't seem like mandatory. It's not like, it's not foundational to the thing you're trying to build, even though it is like a nice tree to plant.
I think Ghost is the perfect comparison because it's like, yeah, if you have incredible player skill, you don't need that at all. I think Daredevil's
Ghost, you can't always throw a Prio when you want to.
Don't tell us what we can't do, Ben.
You're right, but I think Ghost is just awkward. There's just not very many decks that get ahead but don't want to be ahead. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And you're slowing down from the whole getting ahead thing to play a card that isn't doing a whole lot.
And maybe that's it. Maybe she just needs to be bigger tempo. But then it's like, but what are you doing with the one turn you throw? Is it a huge like tempo rush and then you suddenly do Shang and Shadow King? I don't know. Daredevil I think is great, but I usually want multiple reasons I'm running him. Gamora and Professor X, or like a Hobgoblin, or my very favorite is Titania, whatever. I think that combination is excellent because it lets you play her early instead of as a turn 6 play and ensure that you are clogging a lane with her.
I also don't fear a Daredevil anymore. You used to see when you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And now I see,
you slowed down for that?
Try to stop me.
A 2/2?
Times have changed. I have this great Daredevil in the Rain variant. I want to play it. My own ego prevents me from.
Oh, I know the one where he's all like,
yeah,
or whatever.
It's so good. And anyway, okay, that was cool. I was glad to hear your thoughts on Daredevil.
I rock the one with him in front of the church. Anyway, we'll move on. We are going to go to first impressions of the new card. Araña, a 1/1 with activate. Give the next card you play +2 power and move it to the right. It was my number 1 card of the season going into the season. But tell me, did you get it? What are your thoughts?
I got it. I confess I was a little disappointed that she's not Forge. She doesn't do the Forge thing. No brood goodness there. Also, gosh, she really does just announce what's coming.
Wait, can we so let's clarify what you were saying, Ben. What you meant was that Araña works like Nico's timing or the location
it's
Aunt May?
After the card is played, despite what the text says. It's somewhat misleading. It works like Aunt May's. I think Aunt May's works with the timing that it does because it's a location, so it happens like...
So Nico, right? It's like after the on reveal happens, Nico's effect happens, but it was written like
That's just
Forge,
not how it's written, which is frustrating.
Glenn
It needs to
acknowledged
be-
that in a team
Right.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't the best text, and I think it will be rewritten to match Iron Fist and Nico, but I wish instead they changed her ability to work like
Yeah.
forges.
Yep.
She would
I
be
spent
way
those
better.
keys without hesitation with the assumption that I'd be getting up to some brood shenanigans.
Yeah, a lesson
then,
in waiting until Friday or to spend keys, right? Like,
I mean, I would have got this card
oh.
anyway. It's fine, but
Me too.
I could see how someone might be, a little bit upset and feel like they wouldn't have spent those keys or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Araña's fine. I'm looking forward to playing her more, but I'm not super high on her right now.
So I actually, maybe a bit of the opposite experience. I am low on all activate cards. It's not my play style. I hate telegraphed plays like that. I don't like cards I can't play in turn 6, so I was not hot on Araña. And I actually probably wouldn't have even played her anymore, except for I'm like, fuck, I'm doing a podcast now. If I have the new card, I should probably not be like, nah, I just didn't want to play her. So what I did, and I knew Ben was covering move, and Lauren was covering fun, probably. So I'm like, let me throw her in destroy, right? And I was surprised that she makes a great Nico. Like, that's who I put her in for. I still wanted X23 for the extra thing. This is kind of a classic destroy, but it's got a Tuma now. And then for funsies, I threw in Lady Deathstrike over, like, Zola.
Oh, yeah.
But I was surprised because, like, I love Nico, and I would never still Nico in all times. My little Seven Tools toolbox, my queen of Witchfire. I love her, but Araña is a guaranteed +2 to Deadpool, which is not, you don't always get with Nico, because, Nico does what she wants. And so, like, my very first game with this, I immediately had Araña and Deadpool in my hand to start with. And it happened a decent amount where I just started with her, and it was just like, great, put her down when I get that Deadpool. Like, and then also I could, if I wanted to instead, because I wasn't sure, I could use her in like an X23 or Wolverine or whatever, and then she's a 1-drop that will die to activate death, I think the lesson is that most cards just work with destroy because what doesn't love to get eaten and what doesn't love to be buffed and destroy, So I actually ended a little hotter on her than I thought I would be in that, like, who thought I would like any card over Nico in a deck ever at all for any reason?
This is troubling. I'm concerned. But you seem to be all right.
I'm doing okay. Maybe Nico needed the break from me, to be honest.
I got it.
So she's good. She's good with, and she's a guaranteed +2 for your Deadpool. I mean, with fewer options than you might get from Nico, but always the option. So that's my take. What about you, Lauren? What did you do with her?
I definitely got her, and wait, did you get your Sage variant?
No.
Oh, are you going to spend keys?
No. I got the Miss Marvel for. Oh, it looks. I have her inked already. That variant looks so good inked. It's so good.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I think I already bragged. I have that variant cover in real life. Brag. Okay, moving on.
Cool.
I have all of Miss Marvel since she was created. I have her entire comics line. I got her.
Awesome.
Yes, when she first came out. But then I got her first and then Araña, and then I was like, no, save the keys. There'll be more
so
Sage variants you like. There'll be more.
You can spend 2,400 gold in a year,
There will be more, right?
I mean, if you want to, that's pretty steep.
I'll say that and it'll be only, oh well.
There'll be 2 more Sages by then, you're right.
That's...
I got the Ms. Marvel first, which is kind of what I got Sage first. I got the Ms. Marvel.
Oh, you got Sage. Sorry, I'm glad you got her. I will live vicariously through you.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I want to see your inked Ms. Marvel. I did get her before Araña, which I wanted, because if I didn't, I would have stopped spending keys. It was a 3-key week for me. at least I missed that, like the random card, right? I have not been able to use her that much. I've tried her in like 4 different decks and just haven't put her to the board that often. And I don't know, like, just bad luck. I haven't played enough with her. But my first thought was actually Phoenix Force. I'm like, Nico is cool in Phoenix Force, but the thing you want is the move and the +2, and it's guaranteed with Araña. Like the only thing we're missing is Destroy to draw 2, which is nice. But yeah, it was fun, but I feel like I'm still the jury's still out. I need to play something else with her. I'm going to throw her into Lockdown or something silly. I know before I thought she'd be a good fit into my hand dump deck, so maybe I'll figure out how to do that.
I want to see you Araña, Professor X. I want there to be a situation where that's like the perfect play.
Yeah, jam him into some location that's empty, that's hard to reach.
I don't know.
Put him on
extra hard to reach.
Put him on Sanctum Sanctorum, and then your opponent can't doom there. Okay, next week's card, Scarlet Spider, is a 4/5, another activate, a high cost activate. Add an exact clone of this to another location.
I think it's too good. I think it's busted.
Oh yeah.
I think that's too many numbers, too many places. Yeah, just the fact that it's 2 lanes and like super premium stats, just without any assistance. You don't even have to like push at all down the hill. Like, dang, a 410 on 2 lanes. That's just. We should all probably want to play that card, right? I don't know. If we're into winning lanes and stuff, which I think we all are.
Without energy cheat, there's only 2 turns you can play him on, though. I hate that.
That's true, but you'll want to play him.
I just love flexibility in cards.
I do too, but I mean,
but that's the trade-off.
Those 2
is
turns,
power.
that's good enough. Like, you can forge. I mean, any hand buff stuff. I mean, I'm just gonna throw him in Surfer stuff. Probably might cut something. I don't know.
Well, but the thing is, too, it's another one where it's like it could have a high win rate, but not a high cube rate, because you can see it coming and you can retreat.
Or you can Shadow King or Shang it, right? That's been the one thing that has held me back on my Scarlet Spider opinion, is I think that high win rate, low cube rate, very telegraphed.
They can only Shang it if you make it too big. If you get like silly with it, and sure, they can Shadow King it, but you still got a 410. Like that's
people are not able to contain
the floor
themselves.
Is so high on this card. It's just
except at the very high end.
That if you get greedy, you will get punished, perhaps sometimes, but also just don't get greedy. Just settle for a 410 or a 414 or whatever you get. Like, that's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, 417 with reach, something like that.
I think people would be greedy.
17.
I don't know how you got an odd one, but
yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I don't know about like super busted. You have to buff him up a bunch. You have to get greedy for him to be super busted, right? Like,
maybe
if
I
he's
kind of
a
like
410,
him playing.
Okay, 410 is great, but it's like it's Dr. Doom level stats.
Dr. Doom's a pretty good card, and also
pretty
like,
good, but not busted.
This is a card that you don't have to take up your entire turn 6 to play. Like, this is you can still do something else spectacular at the end of the game.
He does go with Chavez and Okoye, who I love to play.
Yeah, it just feels like a very efficient thing that requires like very little homework.
And Nakia.
Symbiote Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking with Araña, actually.
Does it go with Symbiote Spider-Man? Because
if you activate Symbiote first... because then he loses the Activate ability. Yep. Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we all assumed that was sort of the intention with Symbiote Spider-Man, I think. Like, you'll be able to double down on reveals and activates. But nope, just on reveals.
It's like a flag. If a card has been activated, it is always activated.
Got it.
If you bounce it, if you Arnim Zola it is activated. And so that's a problem with Symbiote Spider-Man, is if he copies an activate card, you can't use that text because he's already been active.
Okay, but Shadow
Really
King,
weird. I think it's a weird choice.
I feel like Shadow King is the choice for when this card comes out to ruin everyone's day, probably.
I don't think it's going to ruin the day hard enough. I don't know. We'll see.
Or Red Guardian. Red Guardian does so much work for me.
Oh, Red Guardian is, a very good card. Big fan of Red Guardian right now. Playing a lot of Red Guardian.
All right. I feel like I wasn't planning on getting him, but if I did, I would just throw him in my buff deck with Chavez. Nikia
I think
Okoye.
this card goes down to 4/4, like maybe by the end of the month. I don't know. That's just a hunch.
We shall see. Okay. Well, I do have. If we don't have any more thoughts, I will hype man White Widow as a spotlight friend.
Talk about Scarlet Spider's spotlight friends.
Okay, going straight to White Widow, she is a great card. She is a card like Jeff I will just throw in a deck. If I am like, ooh, do I have room for White Widow? Huzzah! She's so good, right? Like a am I thinking of the right location?
Bar Sinister.
Bar Sinister.
Bar Sinister is a free win, yeah.
Yeah, it's a free win on turn 2.
Space Throne.
If they didn't counter it, Space
Domain.
Right? And because she's a turn earlier than Green Goblin, which used to win all those lanes. You can throw her in later, though, to maybe fill a lane, that they left only one spot in. Like, she's so good in so many scenarios.
And completely risk-free, unlike those goblins.
Right.
Like, you cannot burn yourself with her.
Unrisky Clog is powerful.
She's just a great card. She's good in many archetypes. Highly recommend.
Yeah, if you don't have her, she's a 2 that can go everywhere, like Jeff and like Kate Bishop.
Yeah. And then our other spotlight friend is Skaar, who is good in certain decks.
Yeah. I've played this card less than 10 times.
Hulk.
Your second. Who's your favorite Hulk?
Oh, She-Hulk, obviously.
She-Hulk. Okay.
I don't play any of these cards, but like in principle, I approve of She-Hulk.
She can cost less than 6. Wait, Skaar can too. He's harder to cost less than 6.
Yeah, Skaar, like, where are we seeing him a lot? Like Thanos type decks, right? Where people are playing Coal Obsidian. Mockingbird used to be it, but since she just got dropped down to 9, Sasquatch, like people are, where people are putting out high, like Crossbones.
I always associate Skaar with Gunny T's Big Dumb Idiots. That's just a very strong archetype that usually there's some good version of it running around. And I had a lot of fun doing weekend missions with that deck. It performed very well, and I don't play it regularly, but you can't do it without Skaar. Very much the star of the dish.
What are the other? Give another couple top cards from that deck. I'm not super familiar with it.
Gosh, all the things that are 10. Like you play like discounted stuff. You play armor. I don't have the list in front of me. I think maybe it had Warpath in it, or Namor. It had like some weird card.
Does Warpath go to 10 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I forgot that buff. I never play Warpath. Sadly, he's an amazing Maria Wolf variant.
I think Cull Obsidian was in the cull type cards, big things that have 10 power, reduce Skaar. Yeah, it was just like very efficient and good deck. Recommend. I'm not sure what the current version looks like, but that's what I associate with Skaar.
Me too. But I think he's just an okay card.
I agree.
Not a must-own. If you don't enjoy that kind of gameplay, and I don't really like big cards famously, or maybe not famously, but in case this is breaking news, I'm team small cards for life, and Skaar is not a small card, even though he pretends.
For comparison, like Red Hulk is a more versatile card, I think, as a kind of stat stick counter. Over Skaar, who is more
agree with more
you
versatile.
Need to build for Skaar, a bit more.
I agree. Okay. We had a patch on Tuesday. Not as big as I was expecting. Hardly any things in the data mines. But we did have some balance changes. Two of them were foretold ahead of time or teased. Black Swan and Hellcow getting activate abilities, but also stat changes. So Black Swan goes to activate until the end of next turn. Your 1-cost cards cost 0, and she's a 2/3. Have either of you tried her?
I confess I have not.
No.
I didn't play a lot of old Black Swan outside of weekend missions, the month of release. And this just isn't really a card for me. Even though I am team small cards, I like things that cost 2 and 3 more than 1. So I don't know. I could see myself maybe using her. This seems to me like more of a side grade than a strict upgrade, but it's probably better this way, right? I'm just not an expert on that kind of bounce deck.
This changes her a bit. Like,
yeah, it's
when
just a different card.
I used her before, it was like this, and it was fun. I had fun with her when I played her. It was like a drop deck, you know what I mean? Like on turn 5 with like Hit Monkey. It was a deck I got from Chase. And it was pretty fun, but that's where you would see her. Now she works a lot better with bounce, where I feel like she wasn't as much of a bounce card before. That's just my take from someone who doesn't play bounce. But I feel like, but she's still good in the old style deck, because right now you can still just, even better, you can choose when to activate her, you know, so, but I think this makes her more versatile into more, like, specifically bounce styles.
I think you could, like, time it out with Falcon to, you know, make your Falcon basically act as a beast and stuff, so you can...
Could already do that before. It was turn 5 Black Swan Falcon.
I think this offers you a little bit more like flexibility in how you want to, like when you want to do that. And
yeah,
I guess more flexibility is good. Although I do love a 3/5 and I love a 2/3 less.
It's more flexibility, but more telegraphed. Like,
yeah, that too. Just like the fact that you can't play her on 5 anymore, that hurts. At least as I imagine it. This is all speculative. I'm not playing these decks.
I just think she's a very inflexible card. Like, there's one deck that she goes in, right? Like, you can make small tweaks to it, but there's not even that much. Like, there's only a handful of 1-cost cards you want to bounce. There's only 2 bounce enablers. Like, there's really not a lot of variety in a good bounce deck that rocks Black Swan.
Although, when Toxin shows up, that's the bounce beast. The bounce carnage,
the bounce symbiote,
the beast carnage thing. Like that might be nice to have another way to play your things discounted, you know, because I could see that raising her stocks a little bit.
We'll see, right? People that play these decks more than we do, we'll trial them out.
I think Black Swan, out of every activate card we've seen so far, she's the one to test like how big of a hit is activate. Like,
yeah,
what's the trade-off? Is it worth going from a 3/5 to 2/3 to get the activate flexibility?
I feel like this might not give us all the answers there, just because Black Swan was already just such a card with narrow usage.
So niche, yeah.
Like, I don't think we can draw broad conclusions.
I disagree. I think it's better that you can play her earlier and then trigger her ability later. I think that improves her. I just can't see how that doesn't make what her functionality, what you actually want her for, better. Being able to play her earlier and having that energy later on for other things, and you can activate it. It's like, how does that not make this card better in my mind?
I think that this one is worth reading some of the patch notes for. They said, it's possible this update won't land Black Swan in a better position, and we're open to a reversion in that case. However, the risk seemed appropriate given Black Swan has been languishing on multiple metrics. They don't know. They're like, is it gonna help?
People can't play her any less than they already do.
Doesn't hurt. Yeah. Hellcow, on the other hand, goes from 4/8 to 4/6 and changes to an activate. Discard 2 cards from your hand. And I think most people are on team. This is a big upgrade.
Yeah. And a big buff to Hella.
Just what everybody wanted.
Just what everyone wanted. Yes. I did have someone ask me, so I just want to also clarify here in case anyone didn't know. Someone was like, well, if you have Aback, will you discard him twice from your hand if you just have Apocalypse? And the answer is no, because he works like Corvus Glaive, where it is discard 2 cards like at the same time, basically. And if you do not have 2...
It picks them at the same time.
Right. So if you don't have 2, it will not discard the same one twice.
Similarly, can't discard a swarm and then the swarm created by that swarm.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, this makes the card so much better, right? Like, I mean, and this is what they've been doing to all discard cards, is taking them from random discard and making them more targeted. And yes, this isn't targeted in that it targets specific cards in your hand, but it's targeted and you can specify the timing and specifically in play with things like Hela, where you can, activate Hellcow and then have your Hela played.
If you save Hellcow's activate for the last turn, there are very few discard decks that care what you discard at that point, or like that are harmed by what you discard at that point. It's like
there are only good things.
If you stop Dracula from getting Infinite, maybe, but then you're probably not playing Hellcow.
Yeah, something's gone wrong there if you're in that situation, I think.
I still don't want to put Hellcow in my Apocalypse deck, probably. But maybe it's good now. Maybe I put it in for Swordmaster, actually, since now Swordmaster can't discard the other card in that because it's a strong guy deck. So, maybe in that sense it does go. But it's so much better of a card now, once again.
I've been looking for... Because I'm very much not a Hela player, I'm looking for ways to fold it into some kind of cool, more apocalypse-y discard deck. But I haven't built one yet, but I'm assembling thoughts. I don't know. Maybe I'll have more thoughts on Hellcow next week. Who knows?
Both in your weekly recap and now, it's got me thinking, like, has anybody tried playing with Symbiote Spider-Man on MODOK? Kind of does the same thing. Obviously, he's harder to hit because you have to have nothing lower than a 5 cost in that lane. But you could hit MODOK twice, fire him off again right before Hela.
When you're trying to hit... Okay, usually when you're trying to hit MODOK twice, though, it's because you're doing, like, Helicarrier, Collector, Mobius shit. Like, that's usually what you're trying to do with, like, multiple MODOKs.
But, like, Collector... If you had some buffed swarms in your hand, I could see a double MODOK play. Like suddenly,
but not last turn.
No, but I mean on.
Oh, but you could do it on the same turn.
Yeah, like if you had like 2 7 power swarms that you'd gotten through, hand buffing or Fastos or like whatever, and like I could, it would be cute. It could.
I like cute.
But what you're doing is adding layers of complication to get to that step, which is why usually when you're double MODOKing, it's because that can happen last turn. You know what I mean? That can, because you've already got your Mobius, your Collector out, and then you're like Wong MODOKing or something.
All right.
So, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I think it's like it's like, what are you trying to do with that double MODOK, that's versatile enough to be a deck plan.
This is why I don't really love discard. I just like the good discard stuff is just, it's too, I don't know, Hela and Black Knight just feel too samey to me. I want to do silly things with discard and the silly things aren't good.
That's
Collector discard's my favorite.
For you to give your ideas of discard and for me to kill all your dreams.
For you to discard my dreams.
Yes! Discard your dreams. There's our episode title.
That's a Reese on reveal. All right, one more discard card this week. Swordmaster 3/7 kept the stats, but now only discards odd cost cards. I assumed you would not like this change.
Why? He had his but I like finding the perfect the perfect little corners for these cards, and then when they buff them so they're better meta, that ruins the house I built for them. So I'm sad. I'm sad that discard, like, it was a challenge to working working randomness and discard, to perfectly plan. Like, okay, I mean, the way Cerebro players get some kind of like enjoy out of controlling all their numbers down to the same number. I got a joy out of how could I build a deck that can benefit from chaos, and they've taken that away in almost every aspect. Like Blade, every card that's needed a buff in discard has gotten rid of randomness, and it's like. It's taken away what I loved about it.
So I've been like trying to think of like what are the new opportunities that we can harness. I mean, like what's so cool about discarding an odd cost card? Because that's not Apocalypse, that's not Swarm, that's not Proxima Midnight. And the two things that I would be excited to discard are X-23 and Muramasa Shard. Is this Daken's moment for a comeback? Did he ever truly arrive in the first place? I don't know. I'm just like, those are the two odd cost things I'm excited to discard.
And those are both 3 costs, Swordmaster and Daken, which suddenly goes into a Surfer.
Are we surfing? Is Strong Guy in the mix? Who knows?
With surfing with X-23 instead of Angel, but with Daken and now with Sword, a discard version? Oh, you're right, then. There's always new fun to be had.
I want it to be cool, because, like, I do like that he's, like, big and overstated and does a thing that I'm doing this, clever.
Ben. I'm putting together this deck this week. It's going to be a Surfer discard with Daken and X-23. I love it.
Are you going to find a way to get multiple Muramasa shards or multiple Dakens in the first place?
There's probably still hope in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you want to cook this too.
Oh yeah. Let's. Do we want
a Daken cook challenge?
Secret homework for next
week.
Secret
homework. Okay. Let's see if we make the same deck or different decks. Like, okay, right. But is the challenge, is it going to force us into the same deck? Because we've already talked about these several cards that would be going to be totally different.
They're going to look different. I promise they're going to look different.
Is this a Daken cook challenge, a Swordmaster cook challenge, or you have to use both? Those are the 2 prescribed cards.
Those are the 2 prescribed cards.
Swordmaster and Daken, I'll warn you now, I'm playing Silver Surfer.
Me too. I mean, you don't have to, Lauren. Be you. Be the one. Be the different. Be the non-surfer you want to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Valkyrie or some shit. No, I know. That doesn't make any sense. Don't do that.
I'm going to clone lots of Muramasa shards just to hit them with Valkyrie.
But are there any odd cost things that are good to discard that I like missed?
No, that's what they specifically said in the notes. They're like, well, we kept him at 7 because like Moon Knight actually works with shit now.
It is dodging Ghost Rider and Hela.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's the pro side to it,
which is why I was making the Hela deck. But
you do exempt your even costs from the risk.
The other thing is like you could just have him be a huge stat stick in a deck that doesn't have odd cards, but that just seems so weird. Like, odd cards are better than even cards. 1, 3, and 5 is cheaper than 2, 4, and 6.
Okay, that's the homework. That's the rules. Daken and Swordmaster.
There were a couple more changes that have been discovered that weren't in the patch notes. There are now Rainbow Cosmic and Black Cosmic borders in the cosmetics shop. They're both available for 1,000 tokens each. I've seen a lot of people be upset about this. I think it makes sense to have a sync for players who have too many tokens, which do exist, right? The whales, they have every card and every ultimate variant and nothing else to spend tokens on.
Yeah. I mean, and it's cosmetics, and there's reasonable chances we see them as rewards in Conquest or login rewards at some point. I'll be happy whenever I can get my free one.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are vivid enough. Like, they're not. If the Rainbow Cosmic was gorgeous, I might spend 1,000 for my Valkyrie or something, but it's kind of bland.
I gotta have all the cards first, but it's good for whales.
Yeah, that's a whole 1/6 of a card. I'm not. No, not for me.
I'll be dumb for a card I love.
Yes, be dumb for love, Lauren. Encourage this.
The one thing I wish they had just made the whole cosmetic shop like use tokens or gold, like for everything you can choose, and then they wouldn't have to worry so much about balancing the economy. They could just let players figure it out themselves between tokens and gold.
These currencies are very silly.
Yeah. I will say the more currencies, the more confusing and unfriendly
they serve
a
only
game
to
gets.
obfuscate how much Marvel Snap a Dollar is worth. It's just, it's goofy.
I've definitely like installed games, and then there's like, here are your 15 different currencies, and I'm like, no thank you, I will not be learning all these. But yeah, so I don't know, we're not there yet, but
I mean, we've got
hundreds.
hundreds.
It's harder to make good decisions.
We've got hundreds of currencies if you count every booster as a different currency. But yeah, like general use currencies, we've got what, 4-ish? Mm-hmm. Credits, tokens, gold, keys.
Yep.
Okay. And 20 deck slots.
Oh, more please.
Speaking of,
oh my gosh.
What quest do we have to complete to increase our wallet size?
It would be so cool if you could just like every season pass give us a new deck slot. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm sure people would pay for deck slots.
I don't think they should have to. I think that's very silly.
Yeah, Lauren, wait, stop.
That's true.
Stop with your ideas.
A change that I love in the patch is that you can now use emotes to name your decks. Before there were like 20 emotes you could use, but now you can use pretty much all of them. And that rules. Yep. I will be using this a lot.
That's cool.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be an all angry emojis deck face for certain days.
Right. Okay, we're going to move on to Datamined cards that changed. First up is Scorn, a change to an October card. Stats are the same, 1/2, but the ability has changed slightly. It used to be when you discarded her, she gave her power to a card on the board, and then returned to your hand with 1 extra power. Now when you discard her, she gives 2 power instead of her own power. She gives a flat 2 to a card on the board and returns to your hand with 2 power. So, like, her growth rate is buffed, but the amount that she's giving to the board is a lot smaller, depending on how many times you were going to discard her. I was planning to discard her a lot, so I'm not really into her anymore. She just seems good now and not busted in a silly combo. So, our resident discard players, tell me what you think.
I think it depends a lot on how many times you're going to discard her. It seemed from the table that you assembled that I have seen, but perhaps the listener has not. 3 seems to be a great number of times to discard Scorn in either form. Like the new version is good to discard 3 times, but if you discard it a 4th time, it is now worse than it would have been the other way. If I recall correctly from what I've been shown. One thing about this new version of Scorn is that if you happen to end up discarding it for Dracula, it's better, because I believe it'll get the +2 power on that final Dracula discard. Which
she grows bigger.
Would have gotten from, because I'm reading the original text or the previously Datamined text of Scorn, and I think that Dracula would check for Scorn's stats before the return to hand with +1 power. But with the current wording...
With Dracula, with Apocalypse, it gets Apocalypse new power after the discard from Dracula. So I imagine Scorn would work the same.
I think she would too, but old Scorn was only 1. She only grew by 1 each time, and new Scorn grows by 2 each time. So her own body is a lot bigger. So yes, better for Dracula, and also it's a lot more important now that you actually play Scorn.
Yeah, I agree. It is important, unless you're Dracula.
I'm looking at the wording of Apocalypse, and he says, when you discard this, put it back with +4 power. And so the reason I thought that the old version of Scorn wouldn't get the Dracula check is that the discard happens and then the power gets added after like it's already back in your hand or something. I don't know. This is a rules interaction with a version of the card that is not going to be released, so it's not super important.
It's kind of moot, yeah.
I was gonna get her because I do enjoy a discard deck, and I still just want to discard her a lot. I'm gonna have fun with it. I like her. I'm not bummed out at all. I'll play with her.
I don't think this card got worse for any purposes except Lauren making a ridiculous clip of Scorn that got discarded 20 times.
So this was a deal breaker.
Table, I'm like, everything after 3 kind of doesn't matter.
It's a deal breaker for me. She's good, but she's not busted, and she was going to be busted if you could discard her a bunch of times, which sounded fun to me. Just being like just a good discard card, that's not good enough for me to buy you. I haven't bought Proxima or Corvus. Like, why would I buy Scorn if she's just good?
But she feels like she's going to be a good like staple. Like if you enjoy discard.
Yeah. This is a strong card,
and I think like as long as you don't need to play, as long as you have also one energy to spend on her
for Swordmaster.
Yeah. Right, and she's a one you want to discard, not like Meek, right? And she doesn't need to be sitting on the board vulnerable to Killmonger. Yeah. So, yeah.
I was like, she's friends with X-23, just like in the comics. Sorry, the clones face a lot of scorn. It's sad. I'm not familiar with the actual character Scorn, but metaphorically. Misery and
okay.
We're gonna any pun like plays with decks and stuff. You know it.
Okay. Moving on, our November season pass card, I believe. Surtur goes from a 3/3. After you play a card with 10 or more power, you get +4 power. This gets +4 power. Now a 2/2 that gets +3 power when you play a card with 10. So easier to get to the board, but slightly smaller growth. Still seems good to me if you play 10 power cards.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, seems strong. Still very good. Not as good, but it was clearly too good. I think just as an observer, not even as someone who would have been testing that, that looked a bit much to me. The +4. I still think it's a very good card.
And it's a good trade-off getting to play a turn earlier, because you want that gives you 2 extra turns. Once you start getting 4 above, you want to be playing those 10-cost cards, which are going to take up all of your energy. So now you have the chance to play them on 2 or 3 versus before maybe just 3,
Yeah. I think he is definitely a Skaar friend. So if Skaar is a card that you like or are interested in, or vice versa, if Surtur is a card you're interested in, maybe go for Skaar this week. Frigga, another November card, and this is it for the patch. Like, we usually get a whole season's worth of new cards, and it's like, this is the only card that went from no text to text. She's a 4/6 with the on reveal, add a copy of the last card you played to your hand, if able. This is one of Nico's spells, right? But reliable.
But also at 4 cost.
Yeah, but like Nico's clone spell, if it was reliably, if it was always the clone spell, it would be completely broken at 1 cost.
Okay, but here is my problem when I first looked at this card. I have so much to say about this card, to be honest. When I first looked at it, I'm looking at it, though, and yes, I love Nico's copy spell. I'll copy a cheap stature. I'll copy a Venom. You know what I mean? You'll copy anything. But Nico costs 1. You can throw her in kind of anywhere with that. Frigga, what you're copying, unless you're playing her on turn 5, right? Not turn 6, because it's something you will then have to play. Then you want to play her on 4 or 5, which means you're copying something that you played that's like a 3 cost or less, probably, right? Or at most a 4 cost. Mm-hmm. And then you also are then playing that card again. So what are you wanting to copy and then play again that's cheaper than 3 that you're giving up your entire like turn 4 or 5 for?
It's just such a detour.
So this
I
is
just
what
realized. I just realized she copies the last card, not the next card.
Right, and then you need to play that card again, and she costs 4 to do that for a card that needs to be cheap enough that you can both play it and then play it after. So I looked at this card, and this... Lauren in bed, I looked at this card and I come to you with this challenge. I'm like, how do I because everyone's like, this is a card you'll love. Like, I should love, right? But I look at it and I see this challenge of what do I want to copy? But I was saying this when I was looking at the patch on stream and community came through. It's like this triumph of this week, right? Is that my community had so many great ideas for this card. So first, just to keep it simple and easy, as we found with Araña Easer, where I started going with it is like, okay, destroy can fit a lot of things. You might want to copy a Deadpool, you know what I mean, that you would then play again. You might want to copy a Venom. It's like things that you don't know where to fit kind of sometimes can just fit in Destroy. Who doesn't want to put a Grandmaster in Destroy maybe? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a home for a lot of things. You want to double up on a lot of things. You can eat power, you know, and repurpose it. So, and like a death, right? If you could get a death out that early, maybe you'd copy it. But that's like simplistic. And honestly, is that going to supplant other cards in the Destroy deck? I don't know, maybe not. But then, and now I bring to our Wombat Combat moment of the podcast. Our first idea, what if this brings back Shuri Kitty? What if you play Shuri Kitty on turn, shit, I just lost it. But you could play...
You play Shuri on turn 4, Kitty and Frigga on turn 5?
Yes, there we go. Right? And get yourself 2 giant kitties. I love a kitty Shuri. It's not been super viable for a while. That's cool. Then
that's a good way to revive that in a world where it's a lot harder to use Taskmaster with Kitty now.
Right. See? So I'm like, that's a neat idea. And then our friend Equinox came in with some meme ideas that were pretty glorious. She's like, now hear me out. Cerebro 6. Copy yourself a hood or a Cerebro. Or just forget C6. Play Sunspot turn 1. Nothing. Frigga. Sunspot.
I have tried that with Taskmaster. It's not great.
It would be funny though. You could also put in Zola as a backup to your Frigga. Just Zola, your huge Sunspot. My friend Yami came in with the idea of, well, what if this is a discard Daken Hellcow kind of thing? Maybe you could fit Frigga in there. You know, copy yourself another shard that you're going to discard with Hellcow in the last turn. You know what I mean? And then somebody said Mockingbird, because, like, when do you not want to copy a Mockingbird, to be honest? Yeah. She's a great card. So there are uses for her. I just thought it was great because I looked at it, I saw the challenges I had with what am I going to do with this card at that cost point, you know what I mean? And it was just fun that immediately everyone came in with all these fun ideas. And I was like, yes, I do want to Shuri Kitty this. Yes, I do want to meme around. So we'll see. And she could change. Maybe her stat lines will change before she comes out.
Yeah, I would be very excited about this card at a different stat line. But
3-5.
Not doing it for me.
So yeah, I mean, those are the challenges.
Those are all like very interesting and like resourceful, creative ideas. Very cool. I like the innovation. She seems wildly impractical at 4/6 to me.
Play Surfer, and then you play Frigga on Wong, and then you have 2 Surfers for turn 6.
I know, but
There
that
are
gives you so
many
little
better
turn.
ways to double dip on Surfer.
But see,
The competition is pretty stiff on how you want to spam Surfer. Like,
Yeah.
what do you have to Surfer on your board that you put out in turns 1 and 2 to do this, Lauren?
exactly. This is like
Your other surfers.
it's a non-star.
You're just surfing your surfers? Oh my god. I want to see that as a clip so bad. The board that wins, that's just, it's just all surfers.
Oh my gosh, that would be
Other
so
surfers.
funny. Vonga, Moon Girl, you could do it. It'd be very
Ben's
silly.
like over there rolling his eyes. And me and Lauren are like stars in her eyes. Like, think of the surfers on the
There are
wands. On the
already
surfers.
so many ways to like get more Surfer going on. Like Absorbing Man, Grandmaster, Wong, Symbiote Spider-Man. That's 4 off the dome. I mean, we could clone Silver Surfer with a 1-cost card named Nico. Like there are just
Girls
Okay,
just want to
all
have
right.
fun.
Odin. Boom. There's one more. Okay.
Okay, Frigga is a card
It's
that
more
reminds
practical
me.
waste.
It reminds me of Grandmaster in that it feels brimming. It feels like it's brimming with potential, but I'm not sure what I want to do with her. But she still looks so fun that I'm probably gonna get her. Anyway,
Yes, I will get. I am probably gonna open for her, but it is hard because for me, it's like when I see her, I'm like, but would I rather Absman or Iron Lad?
I have one more thing I would like to add. I do want to like this card because, for those who don't know, copying a card is drawing a card, and drawing cards is pretty cool. See 3/5 Loki who drew a card. Yeah. Cards that say draw a card are dope, except for Adam Warlock, who is not. But
she's
copying a card is
4/6 draw a card. That's pretty good.
Okay,
It's just
but
that the card is like guaranteed to be like a small thing that was like yesterday's news.
But
and
Ben,
like that's
White
kind of the problem
Queen.
with this.
but Ben, White Queen. How often are you playing
Yeah,
White
I know.
Queen?
And White Queen, I got some miles on my White Queen in the early series. Like, yeah, the White Queen is indeed a card that says draw a card.
Ben,
Same stat
champion
line.
of small cards. Champion of small cards. This should be your card. It lets you play a 3-on-3, and then also later.
I know, but I don't think that's it.
She's too big for you,
she's
huh?
just a lady with a big sword. I love
She's
ladies
in an
with
awkward
big
spot.
swords.
I know. We all love ladies with big swords, but I don't
Guilty.
think this is the right one for the moment. At least
and
not
armor.
at this price point.
An armor that's both flowy cloth and metal. It's too good. It's like Athena. It's like you just want her because, you know, she cool. All right, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I very much get it. I promise.
And now, because this patch it's done. There's nothing else. I mean, okay, there's like cosmetics and stuff, but really, there's hardly anything else to talk about. There's no new. That's it for card changes. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have prepared a game for us today. I workshopped the name of the game with my nearly 13-year-old child. It is called Title Tussle, Snap or Cap.
Nice. It needs like
I love
a
it.
kind of thing.
Yeah, see, if it was me, it would have been crap or trap, but
No, but this is perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
The youths, they're the future, and we must adopt their language.
yep. So it's Snap or Cap.
Snap or
This
cap.
is how the game's going to work. Speaking of things that are data mined, I was looking over some of the new titles added to the game, and they join the pantheon of other titles that are just bad. There's so many awful titles in this game. And so I'm going to read off a set of 3 titles to one of you. You'll take turns. You're going to identify how many of those titles are real in the game. Not necessarily released and available, but they exist in the game files. Some of them have been released, but like very low usage. You get 1 point if you get it right. If you correctly say that it isn't a real title, that's worth a point too. 0 points for wrong answers. So if you get the whole set right, you get 3 points. You can snap if you want to make correct answers worth 2 points and incorrect answers worth -2 points. So only if you're very confident.
This
All right, and
seems
when
like a game where you would have to keep score, though.
You have to keep score. Absolutely. I will if neither of you want to. I'm prepared.
Lauren can be bothered? Oh.
Yeah, this is the difference
Get
between
the listeners used to this. No, this is don't set the bar here. This is bad.
Okay, will you each keep your own scores?
And forgetting, but I can try.
I got it. You're going to keep score for both of you?
I'll keep score for myself, or I'll try to.
Okay, you each keep score for yourself.
And the rules.
I have a question. So can any of the three could be either real or not, or is only one of the three not real?
It could be all three fake or all three real.
Oh, okay.
What?
All right. All right. Put on serious reactivate.
Okay, I have, just to give you some context and like your snapping and scores and stuff like that, I have 10 sets for each of you. The answers have been generated by myself, some of our friends, and ChatGPT, which is shockingly good at this. Almost as if that's how they come up with the titles.
Oh no! Ooh, that's such a burn.
Okay. Just for fun, I did reference, I took advantage of my access to Marvel Snap Zone tracker data. We're going to call it okay because our Grand Pod is part of, it's like the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. I looked at 42 days of data, opponents' titles, so there's more variety that way than if I was looking at the titles of Marvel Snap Zone tracker users. We saw in that time 848 titles, there are 848 titles in the game. 479 of them were observed at least once. So that's 369 titles that nobody has.
Nobody wants to use.
And yet I like only 5 of them.
Right? 850 titles and 4 are good.
That's how I feel, though.
Okay. Determine who's first. I will be copying and pasting them to you in our chats so that you can read them as we play.
I would like to go second.
Okay. Decided. Here we go. So this set is to you, Ree.
Okay.
Let's rent a tandem bike. Let's take the Bifrost to IKEA. Let's connect on LinkedIn.
Okay, I think let's take the Bifrost. Fuck. I think let's rent a tandem bike is fake, and let's take the Bifrost to IKEA and let's connect on LinkedIn are real.
You have one correct. Let's connect on LinkedIn is indeed a real title. Let's rent a tandem bike is 2. I made up let's take the Bifrost to IKEA.
Okay. Well,
so you got 1 point.
All right. I'm keeping
Okay.
score.
Ben, this set is yours. Number 1, lost my variance in the divorce. Number 2, I am from the beyond, ... Number 3, behold, my stuff!
And so all 3 of these could be real, or how many could be real?
0 to 3. So you are really just making that determination for each one separately.
I think lost my variance in the divorce doesn't make sense, and therefore is probably real. I am from the beyond. That feels plausible, but almost too plausible. That one's fake. Behold my stuff feels real.
Okay, that's very good. You get 2 points. The divorce is a real one. I am from the beyond is from our friend Adam Starr, Marvel Snap Lore.
I said it to
that tracks.
It makes sense for comic books, which meant Marvel Snap would not have it as a title.
See, that's exactly how I went through. I was like, lost my variance in the divorce. No, you can't. These have no resale value. You can't redistribute them at all. Like, you can't split that down the middle. Like, that makes no sense. It must be real. And yeah, behold my stuff. That's exactly the kind of. That's yeah. Without being mean, I'll say that sounds about right.
Behold, my stuff is is a fake one. It's from our friend Philip J. Woodward, but he's quoting Thor in the comics.
I know where this is from.
I was going to say, that actually sounds a little familiar. Did somebody share that somewhere? I don't know. Anyway,
I shared some
I'm not going to worry
candles
about
with
it.
Thor at one point.
All right.
That might be it.
All right, Ree. Oh, I need to remember to start asking you guys if you want to snap on this. Ree.
Oh, yeah.
Belly rubs
do I have
and
to decide
chill.
before I see it on the snapping?
You do, just before you commit to your answer.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. Belly rubs and chill. Accepting belly rubs. Please rub my belly.
Oh, I hate this.
Do you want to snap on this?
No. I wanted to, but then I heard it. No. Okay. I think accepting belly rubs is real. And I think the other two are fake.
Okay, that's worth 2 points.
Yes! Okay.
Please rub my belly
Getting
is a real one.
No. Why? Why do they always... why do they make me look at these titles? I don't want to think...
And the first one was by ChatGPT. Okay, Ben. You get another themed bundle. 3x value. Waiting for the 4x value bundle. 100x value.
I don't love these. Oh, geez, I don't know.
Do you want to snap on this?
We all know what they're alluding to. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say they're all fake. Even though I'm pretty sure one of them is real, and maybe I've seen it.
That is 0 points. Every single one of those is real.
Oh, wow. I would have thought the 4K
dang.
value bundle was too good of a joke to, like...
So
Yeah,
weird,
I just
right?
couldn't decide, and man.
So weird. I only like the 3x value one, and that one's only because it's a Marvel Snap in joke.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good in joke, but then it's too far. It's like the corporations making fun of themselves. It's like, but maybe not though. Okay.
Okay, Ree, here comes your set. I'm glad that this one's going to you.
Okay.
Number 1, emotes are my love language. Number 2, emote quota reached. Number 3, too shy to emote.
I think... Okay, I want to... So if I snap on it, do I have to get them all right?
No, it makes it so that the good ones are +2, but the bad ones are -2. So
Okay.
It's worth snapping if you think you can get 2 correct.
Okay, I'm going to snap. And I'm going to say emotes are my love language is real, and too shy to emote is real, and emote quota reached is not.
I'm sorry. The only one you got correct is too shy to emote.
No.
So you are +2, but -4. That's a -2 points.
Back to 1
Emotes are my
point.
love language was invented by yours truly because they are.
Well,
And emote quota reached is real.
I wished it was real.
I would use that one.
I would match with you, and you'd have emotes are my love language, and I would say emote quota reached. Like I fist bumped once today, so I'm done. Out.
Okay. This is a set that I'm glad went. This is a set I love going to Ben. Number 1, from Simcaria with love. Number 2, can swear in Simcarian. Number 3, Simcaria's finest. Simcaria, as we recently learned, is the home of the mercenary Silver Sable.
The world's most famous mercenary, Silver Sable, according to Tom DeFalco's Spider-Man: The Ultimate Guide. Anywho, I don't think they even want to talk about Simcaria.
Are you going to snap on this?
Simcaria doesn't have the name ID. I think I got burned last time by saying they were all fake. I'm going to snap on this and say once again, they're all fake.
Okay, you got 2 correct, so that is worth 4 points. Wait, +4 minus, it's worth 2 points.
I feel like I might have seen from Sicaria with Love.
Okay.
Is that the one that's real?
The one that is real is Can Swear in Simkarian.
That's wrong.
I got so excited when I saw that they referenced Simkaria in an actual title.
So, wait, does snapping on... If you get 2 right and you snap on it, it's just the same as if you hadn't snapped on it?
Maybe I should have had negative points or something. I don't know. I didn't think about it.
Maybe I just shouldn't... Maybe we should skip on the snapping until next time.
I just wanted to
Indeed.
say, do you want to snap on this? I thought that was so
Well, I think
clever.
we should still snap for, like, feeling and intensity when we're really feeling
All right.
ourselves, you know? Like,
You can emotionally snap on it.
yeah, I invested my personhood in that answer.
We could
I'm
make
really
it
glad I
double
know
or
about
nothing.
Sicaria now.
You have to get all 3 correct. And then, anyway. Okay, but let's put snap on this in our pocket for a future game, for sure. All right, Ree, I have a set of 3 for you. Number 1, very mystique, very demure. Number 2, feeling snarky past my bedtime. Number 3, no one laughs at a master of quack foo.
Okay. I feel like I should snap because I'm behind now. I only have 1 point, and now I gotta play risky. It's like when you're at the end of a conquest and you're like, well, I'm down on cubes. It's time to get risky. So I'm gonna snap, and I'm gonna say
Hey.
very mystique, very demure is real. And the other 2 are fake.
You got 2 correct, so we're going to call that 2 points.
Yay!
Very mystique, very demure was a trick by our friend Sammy /Haunter.
It had to. That's much too current. That's
It's so good.
that's
I
some
want
last
it to be
month
real.
stuff.
Why can't the good titles be in?
The
Of
other
course
2 tricks
Sammy
are from
did this.
Birds and Marble Snap lore. Okay. You guys got more in you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, here comes Ben's set. Number 1, you were in my dream. Number 2, King saw my future, said nah. Number 3, my, what spider teeth you have.
You know what? I am just going to shoot from the hip. I'm going to say you were in my dream is real. Kang saw my future, said nah is too good and probably can't be real.
Shots
What
fired.
spider teeth you have is sort of that really is in the gray zone.
I know, it's so
I
borderline.
I think the only real one is, well, I think they do a lot of spider titles, actually. You know what? I'll say you were in my dream and my what spider teeth you have are real.
You got them all right!
A perfect answer.
3
I feel like the
pointer.
king should come
3
down
points.
now. Like, woo!
I should have
King-
snapped on it.
Yeah.
Should have snapped.
My, what spider teeth you have is horrifying. What the hell?
Yeah, there's a lot of titles like that, to be honest. Like, really, second dinner?
Yeah.
They're so bad, which is what makes this game possible. All right,
They
Reed.
could hire a human being to like come up with good ones, but I don't think they did.
I said. It's probably a symptom of overwork. They're like, should we hire people? No, make
Don't
people
you think
with
the-
full jobs.
The interns could crush this. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ree's turn. Number 1, I call my teeth the Fantastic Four. Number 2, I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Oh, that's what Soren wants to do.
Yeah.
Number 3, I find this beneath me.
Okay, I feel like I want to turn people into dinosaurs. That feels like Marvel Snap Lore to me. It's too comic books. It makes too much
too good.
sense. So I
Yep.
think that one's fake. I'm snapping on this. For the feels, for the climactic moment of triumph.
Okay, all right.
So that one's fake. I call my teeth the Fantastic Four. Fake. I find this beneath me real. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
No, that's so bad. This sounds bad. Lauren's
You
doing
only-
a down silt with her voice.
You only got the number 2 correct. I call my teeth the Fantastic Four is real.
Of course it is. It's so weird.
What is...
I wanted
Yep.
to say that, but in case someone I knew invented it, I didn't want to, but
almost-
I'm like, no.
I almost like it because it is so absurd. I want to turn people into dinosaurs is Snap.fan writer Scott Denham. And number 3, I find this beneath me was a trick from Philip J. Woodward, modified quote from Dr. Doom.
Okay. Wait, so
It
what did
seems
I
very
get points
plausible to
wise
me.
out of that?
So you snapped, right? So
Yeah.
-2.
Back to 1 point. That's how we do. Jeopardy.
What's your score, Ben?
My score after 4 rounds I've had of guessing, is that correct? Does that match with what your...
I went
Yes.
first. I went first. So I have
Yep.
had 1 more than you.
We should have the scoreboard after Ben's
Yes.
round.
All right.
All right, here we go. If I can paste correctly. Nope, my clipboard is empty. This is good audio. Number 1, Hey There, Tiger. Number 2, Super Rare. Number 3, Excelsior.
Well, let's see. The first and the third one are comic book references that even I get, although I believe the classic line that the first one is referring to, a lot of these titles are like a little bit off. Like a bit of a scientist thing is like, it's a misquote of like the first Spider-Man movie. The actual line is, I'm something of a scientist myself. But the line that Hey There, Tiger is referring to is, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot, which is what Mary Jane Watson says when...
Which
she's
makes it
first
almost more
encountered.
likely to be real, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
The
'cause
fact that it's not right. Yep, that makes me think that one is
They
real.
don't know how to spell shawarma.
Nope. I think Excelsior also like makes a lot of sense because that is like Stan Lee's little catchphrase sign-off thing.
But they don't give us those.
I think Super Rare is the only real one in the bunch.
Okay, you did very well. Super Rare is also fake. They're all fake.
I thought so.
Okay,
I
they're
thought
all
Super
fake.
Rare is fake. I'm like, okay, I thought Hey There, Tiger is real, but I'm like, Super Rare and Excelsior, like, too good. We'll never get those.
So did I get 2 points there?
You got 2 points. Yeah. Those came from people we've already credited, but number 2, Super Rare, came from Thursday.
Nice. You got me.
Yeah. Points to Thursday. Okay. What's the scoreboard now, Ben?
More
What
points
do you
than
have?
me.
I have 9 points.
9-1, but we're only halfway through the game.
Wait, what? 9-1? No, that can't be right.
I've snapped a lot. Just like real snaps.
Say,
Wait,
just like real.
Wait,
snap.
you haven't been counting like. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
We've been continuing with the snaps. All right, printing this page for my grandson, like Grandma used to make, named after my grandpa's username.
Wow.
Oh man. Okay, I think these are all so.
They're all awful.
I know. Okay, I'm I'm snapping because I can only go up from here. Surely,
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
can't have
saying-
negative cubes.
they're all real because they're all weird.
You're correct.
Wow.
A 6-point swing.
Come back.
Incredible.
Wait, how many points do I get?
6.
I'm all the way up to 7 points. Huzzah!
All right, here's
foot.
Here's another
weird.
themed bundle for you. Uncle Sam's symbiote. My symbiote ate my homework. Symbiotes are a Spider-Man's best friend.
All right, the first one makes too much sense. That's too good. I think that's referring to what, like Agent Venom or something. My symbiote ate my homework. That seems very plausibly low-hanging and basic. Symbiotes are a Spider-Man's best friend. I mean, like, sure. I think the second two, numbers 2 and 3 are real, and Uncle Sam's symbiote makes too much sense. Like, I had to think about it, and then I thought about it, and I could, like, trace the logic, and it all made, like, it didn't. Yeah, the fact that I was stumped by it and then I thought about it and it added up, that means it can't be real.
I feel like my symbiote in my homework...
Real. Fake, real.
It's like the quintessential, like, Snap title. You know what I mean?
Yep,
it's
exactly.
like random thing in-game with random things someone would say. Like...
this is the poster child for generic Snap title. How did I do out of those 3?
You got 1 point. You swapped the first 2. Only the last one, or the first one was real. The one that you thought made too much sense.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it'll be in the season pass for Agent Venom or something, right?
Yeah, probably.
And then number 3 is real. Symbiotes are a Spider-Man's best friend.
Oh, number 2 isn't real?
Don't feel bad about calling that one super basic. That was ChatGPT.
It knows. It's like I distilled the Marvel Snap title down to its essence.
Yeah, I fed it every single title, and I was like, please. Channel this awful loser gamer self-deprecating energy, and also Marvel Snap references. Number 1, go ahead and report me. Number 2, forgot password, can never log out. Number 3, top hat, gym socks, that's it.
All right. Okay, probably shouldn't snap since we're finally catching up. I think top hat, gym socks, that's it, is real because it's weird and it's Marvel Snap sounding.
Are you...
I think...
Because it's horrifying.
I think it's an allusion to Inside. That's what I think.
To Inside? What's Inside?
What?
The Netflix special of Bo Burnham. That's what I think that's a reference to.
Oh, then in that case, it's probably not a Marvel Snap title because then it would be too clever. Okay, so forgot password, can never log out. I think it's fake. It's very long. Go ahead and report me. I mean, there is a title called Permaban Inevitable, which is like, why? But
it's so wild to put that in your game, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's fake. Because I hope it is.
Okay, so what's your final answer?
They're all fake. I'm changing my last answer based on Ben. It was a call a friend.
You get 2 points. The last one is correct. It's real. I mean.
Oh, it is real?
The last one's real.
Okay.
Uh-huh. But you still get 2 points.
All right. Yay, now I'm tied.
I apologize for leading you astray.
No, it was the perfect play, Ben. To retain your lead.
Okay, home stretch. Ben, use your real name, coward. Should have listened to Wong. Snick tappins.
Well, the third one, I feel like that might be real. That might be real, just even though it makes a little bit of sense. It might be real. Honestly, they all seem plausible. They all seem like within the parameters.
Once again, right? It's like
this
Snick is like
game,
a
Lauren.
random. It's like, okay, comic book term into random phrase. Like every Marvel Snap title.
Yeah.
I think they are. I think the first one is fake, and the other two are real.
You got 0 points.
Yep, I had it flipped. Okay.
I want to take credit for Snick Tappins, another title that I might use if it existed.
Yeah, I was like, that might be the kind of okay title that they would.
It's like kind of funny. Yeah. Okay. Number 1, Dark Elf needs food badly. Number 2, longest MRI ever. Number 3, blaming this on Mercury retrograde.
I think, okay. All right, we'll play it. We'll play it smart. We'll play it safe. We'll not snap because we have Ben on the ropes. All right, is that the correct usage of that term? Why are you on the ropes?
Yeah.
I think it's a boxing
the person
thing.
that's on the ropes? Aren't they gonna like spring back in pro wrestling and kick the other person in the face?
Well, that's what you have to worry about, I think.
So why would you want someone to be on the ropes?
Run into it. If they're resting on the ropes, I think they're exhausted.
Oh,
but that's just a guess.
This feels like a double-edged term. Okay, anyway, sorry. I was just wondering if I was going to use it correctly. Okay, so I think Dark Elf Needs Food Badly sounds like the kind of title that would be in Marvel Snap. Now I'm afraid to make any comments on any of these because I don't know who invented them. Longest MRI ever.
Our friends and I knew we were trying to trick you. So if you call it bad, I think we were intentionally making them bad.
Yeah.
We were trying to channel the title vibe.
Assignment. That's what we're saying.
Okay. Longest MRI ever. That also sounds like a title that would be in the game. I'm going to say those are both real. I think blaming this on Mercury retrograde is too real. It's just like, so I think that one's fake.
Okay, that's worth 2 points. Dark Elf Needs Food Badly is not real. Adam gave me Elf Needs Food Badly, which is a Gauntlet reference. I changed it to Dark Elf because Malekith is coming.
That's why it would never be in Snap then.
Right? Okay. Ben.
Wait, let's
live, love, snap. I snap on the first date. Gross. Just learned I've been dating a scroll.
All three real.
2 points. The last one was ChatGPT.
I would have been with Ben. They all seem.
Live, love, snap kind of cracks me up. I don't think I'll use it, but it's kind of cute.
It's not the worst one I've ever heard. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I like teasing those.
There's no stupid self-deprecation.
All right, give them up. What are your guys? Okay, sorry. Maybe when we're done, we have to say what our favorite titles are.
Oh yeah, okay. Because I think that's lost episode content. All right, here we go. Round 9 for you of 10. Ruined my sister's wedding. Incapable of love. My date says stop playing.
Is this the sequel to...
Uh-huh.
I think... the first two are fake, and the last one is real. I think my date says stop playing is real.
You killed it. 3
really?
points.
Yes! I should have snapped! Ah!
Yeah. First one is birds, second one is snap variants. All right. Here's the self-deprecating stuff we love. Ben.
Oh, no. I'm
just
sorry. Yeah.
Awful. Just awful. Booed at karaoke night. Wah. Wet diaper.
All right. I just need to drop a little bit of behind the scenes magic. Lauren does send us the text as she's reading, so sometimes my eyeballs happen before the ears get there, and that's why I make noises of disgust and or amusement, seemingly out of sync with what we're learning. Okay.
Let me run that one again. Wah. Wet diaper.
No, I don't like it. I just don't like it. No. I'm sorry. I cannot contain my. I feel very visceral. Let's just not. No, that one.
Do you think it's real or not, though?
I fear that it's real.
Put that in the game. Are you going to see that in the future? Ben,
no, I don't want to be. I just don't want that to be true.
Nobody does.
I'm going to say just awful seems very plausible. There are a zillion titles very much in that vein. Like, that's an absolute garbage kind of title, you know what I mean? Booed at karaoke night. I feel like there are already titles in the game referring to karaoke, and probably more than one. I think the Spider-Man theme is my karaoke song. That's a title or something. And I think there's another karaoke title that I've seen. So I bet there are a zillion karaoke titles, because they probably got a whole batch of karaoke from ChatGPT and they never bothered to check for redundancies.
These are all so funny.
Yeah, so I think Just Awful is real. Booed at karaoke night is real. And I pray to anything that wet diaper is not real.
What avatar did they pair that with? They paired
It's
with
not real.
a blonde avatar.
Real, fake.
I'm so sorry. That's 0 points.
Fuck. I don't care about the score. I just care about what this says about the game. Oh,
I could not believe that was a real title.
Fuck. I don't think I've dropped that one on the pod before, but that's some fucking horse shit if I ever heard of it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I swear constantly. Jesus. I'm the reason we rate ourselves explicit, because I can't contain myself.
I am disappointed.
I'm glad this is what broke you. A real Marvel Snap title has broken
as far as my grievances go,
Roller.
this is obviously not as substantial as some of my other grievances with decisions made by the people behind the game. But wow, what a troubling lapse of taste and judgment.
Yeah.
Be better. Just what are you like?
The more you
delete this title,
the more people are putting this as their titles. I know so many people whose full goal with their avatar
You've got a pretty
title
cool
and deck.
game over here. Don't ruin it with fucking diaper talk. Good Lord.
How hard would it be to make titles cool? Apparently very hard.
More comic book references, please. That are like legit.
Final set for each of you. Hey, and in this week's login rewards, there's something about Spidey senses tingling that doesn't suck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the login reward today.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Ree's last set. Number 1, title censored. Got an edgelord over here. Number 2, has a parasite. Number 3, banned from nowhere for loitering.
Okay.
Are you going to snap on this?
No, because now I'm leading Ben, right?
I don't know.
I have 14 points. How many points do you have, Ben? I got to Jeopardy this.
I got a lot of points.
It's Final Jeopardy.
I think Ben's had 2 zeros.
Sorry, how many points did you have?
I've had 3 zeros, actually.
Wait, so
I didn't get any of the last ones right, did I?
So you
I
got
9 them all
still?
wrong. No, I'm up from there. I had 9 after the 5th one. I'm at 12.
Okay, see, I'm up by 2.
It's a close game.
So he would have to snap to overtake me. It's a risky gamble from him. And I don't want to damage myself. This is one where if it was Marvel Snap, I'd want to be like, I want to do it. But we got to play smart. And we're not going to snap. And I'm going to say, okay, that Banned from Nowhere for Loitering is a real title. And Has a Parasite is a real title. And Title Censored is fake.
That is 1 point. Okay. Title Censored is real?
Of course it is. Why? Wait, which one? Sorry, what was it?
Banned from Nowhere is ChatGPT, but I shortened it a little bit.
Okay.
Has a Parasite also real? Yeah. Title Censored is just so dorky.
Yeah, lean into the edgelord thing. Sure. Good choice, guys.
So dumb. Okay. Last set for Ben. This could be the deciding set.
Wait, so Ben has 13? Or how many points?
I have 12.
12? Okay, and I have 15. So you'd have to get all 3 right just to tie.
Oh, all 3 with a snap. Anyway, number 1, Hawkeye Tua. Number 2, Born to Snap, Forced to Retreat. Number 3, Willing to Accept Victory.
Okay, so do we think they draw the line at wet diapers, but they're down for fellatio tips, because that's the first one.
I still never bothered to Google that, to be honest.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's fellatio advice. That's
Great.
That's what
Love
that is.
It's probably a Marvel Snap then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you seen some of the variants, to be fair?
No, but I bet this one came from Sammy. That's what I think. I feel like Sammy's plugged in. Sammy's with the culture. I think fake, real.
Are you snapping on this?
I mean, spiritually. I mean, like, do I? If I snap on it and I only got 2 of them right, it's still the same as if I didn't snap on it, right?
Yeah, it's very well designed.
Okay, so if I snap on it and I got 2 wrong, then I just like make my score worse, right? But if I got all 3 right,
you would win.
Does that mean
then
I
you
tied
win?
The game?
No, you would win.
I win.
Right now, you tie if you got all 3 right without snapping.
If you get all 3, it's a 6-pointer.
So all right. I guess the smart thing to do then would be to snap, but I'm fine with tying. I don't feel like I deserve to win. This whole game has like made me feel like I don't deserve anything. Like I'm a garbage creature in a garbage world.
That's kind of how
None of us deserve anything.
Make me feel, to be honest.
Are we all losers after this game? Oh, sure. I'll snap on it. I'll be king of the.
And your submission is fake, real.
Yeah. What did I say? Let me.
I think you said fake, real.
Yeah, I think that's what you did. I don't know.
Fake, real. That's what's in my heart. I hope. Fake, real.
Drum roll. That is a 2-pointer for you. Born to snap, forced to retreat. Was ChatGPT, and you are 100% correct. Hawkeye 2 is from Sammy.
Boom!
You almost deserve a bonus point for that.
I agree. Calling out who wrote an answer. That's when you wrote in Final Jeopardy and you were wrong, but you made everyone laugh. So you know.
Yeah. Okay. Depending on what your goals were, you won in your heart.
Define success differently.
Okay. So that's the end of the game. Congratulations, Ree, to being the first victor of Title Tussle, Snap, or Cap.
Okay.
The Tussle Queen. But
Yeah. Oh wow. For a sec.
14 to 15, like, right?
Yeah. You had 15.
I had 15. Sorry. So you ended with 14.
All right. Wait, no. Yeah, I did. I know math. I'm sorry. I got so lost after I learned that we're.
Ben's gonna go to Reddit after this and be like, "Why didn't my Captain Marvel move?"
No, I'm disoriented right now. I am taken aback by what I have learned. I've seen things.
You can't. They're your future. Get used to it.
That just lives in our podcast chat now. Yep. Okay, if you enjoyed this, like, follow, subscribe, leave comments, etc. We're on YouTube and podcast platforms. Our Twitter handles are in the show notes. Check them out, or the video description. We are part of the Snap. I'm part of the Snap Judgments Network, proud members of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to great shows such as Snap Decisions, where Joe brings on great guests with his radio DJ experience and also provides a great casual player angle to the game. Very accessible, very positive. Were you going to say something?
A lot of love for the comics and stuff, and just good vibes, and you sure won't hear him talking about any of this diaper shit.
Did you just use those 2 words next to each other?
It classy over there. In fact, so classy that we probably I shouldn't. I don't know. I may have ruined this shout out.
No, we have to
try. I was trying to be encouraging. Like there are many wonder. Yeah, our show is great in a lot of ways, but you will hear about this. Yeah, I'm sorry for what we've. Yeah, it was a great game, Lauren. I'm just. This is Marvel Snap's fault. This is nobody's. We're all victims here.
We broke Ben.
Okay. Yeah, so listen to Snap Decisions and the others on Snap Judgments Network. Last week I challenged us to come up with sign-offs for the show. And do we just want to do all 3 of them and see what happens? Or we have a lot of sign-offs for several weeks if we want.
Oh.
Let's trot out a few.
Okay,
all right.
I'm going first because I was actually sick this week. I didn't come up with one. Ben kindly gave me one of his, and he gave me one he knew I would appreciate, which I doubly appreciate. I love this one. It's, I don't snap on half of you half as well as I should like, and I snap on less than half of you half as well as you deserve. And if you get that reference, you're very cool.
That's adorable. Okay.
I had a long one that you just heard, and I've got a short one. And my short one is Snappy Trails.
That's cute. Okay. I brought a couple, but this is my favorite. Will our heroes get Scarlet Spider? Don't miss next week's episode. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
I love it. We need to do Ben, have it do it in a radio voice.
Because that's a Batman reference, is it not?
I was so excited when I came up with same Snap time, same Snap channel.
I don't hate it. I gotta say it.
It's good.
I'm so sorry I used that title.
It's all right. I still can't explain why it had such an effect on me, but it really bummed me out. I'm like, oh my god, we are playing this game.
I'm not gonna lie, that title almost single-handedly inspired the game. I just couldn't believe it.
I'm not stuffy. I'm not like a square or anything. I'm an out of control. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. I color outside the lines, but that's a bit yucky for me. I gotta be honest.
It's
awful.
Tune in next week when Ben is forced to invent a time machine to go back and prevent this title from entering the game. And
wipe it from his memory.
Well, that always ends well.